First of all, it's an honor for me to be here in front of you all, addressing you as a building material group. I accepted the invitation for many reasons. One of them because of the celebration of the UAE National Day, but secondly, I'm a civil engineer. I'm part of you guys. And as a civil engineer, building material is the most important aspect of the civil engineering. Thirdly, we're going to have dinner. So I'll make sure my speech is a bit short, so we make sure the food comes in and flows as well. I want to speak about one important story in the UAE, about the story of abundance. UAE started back in 1971. But there was a story that's a very important story for each and every one of you to understand. When His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum asked a couple of consultants, global advisors, to advise him how can he change Dubai into a city sought after like New York, London, and others. And the answer was, do nothing. You're desert heat, you have no infrastructure, you have no airport, you have not single roads. Do not think about doing anything, you're going to waste your money. Well, I thank those advisors, because what they did is, they built fire in him. In the UAE, from a desert space to this beautiful city, abundance rise. And this abundance is important. Abundance in a place of scarcity, where water is being desalinated, where electricity is made out of gas. But the importancy that that fire inside us kept going. We opened up our borders, we opened our nation, and you believed in that abundance of the nation and the leadership to move forward to create this country. And that's where we are today. Now, when we go look at the economy, 1970s to the 80s was an economy just started. Oil and gas was predominant of the GDP. When we look at the 80s and 90s, services started to come up. More transportation, logistics, we see DP World, we see Emirates Airline. But in 2000 and beyond, services was part as well. And real estate took off, more or less. That's what I know from Dr. Mustafa saying the group was created in 2002. That's when the real estate really boomed. And since then, we have the most crane ownership, I think, in the world. It's still going, and still will gonna happen. We still have a lot to build, a lot of things to do. Our GDP is growing, non-oil, at a 5.3% GDP annual growth. That's my target. When we came into the Ministry of Economy 5.5 years ago, we were 69% non-oil. Today we are about 77.8, about 78% non-oil GDP. And the growth is to go beyond that. Target is 80% non-oil GDP. We've been working on a lot of projects, a lot of policies, creating new economies, creating new thinking, driving new investments, a lot of policies. One of the things that we've done back in 2020 was 100% ownership. That's the first task I took on. Gave everybody his full ownership of his company. Secondly, the golden visas was important for you to feel belongs to this nation, to this vision. And there's many more policies coming through, ideas. The Ministry of Economy and Tourism today is a host for more than 23 laws in the country. The most important one is the commercial company laws, which we have amended very recently. You're going to hear in the news the next couple of days. We have introduced many new articles in the law. You're going to have shares of classes, many shares of classes, that you will, about 7 to 8 new criteria that you will be introduced to create a company, from founders shares to class B shares, other classes shares that you can actually create in companies for growth of family and family businesses as well forward. We've been creating the family business law, which is a very important law to make sure the success of family succession planning is happening as well convene as the UAE as a city or a country that hosts family businesses from the region as well. That kind of creation is built in the values of what the UAE has, and the founders and the leadership of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid and His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, the abundance of tribesmen, people from the desert. If you come to a person in the past as a tribesman, he will host you for 3 days. He will not ask you why you're here, what you're doing, and what you're for. That's the kind of abundance the country has, and that's the abundance that we will continue doing. Thank you so much for having me. I belong in this group. I don't know how to become a member. Should apply, I think. But I'd love to be a part of your activities. Please do invite me, as a civil engineer. Remind me that I'm a civil engineer, not an economist, but as a place as well where I feel belong as well with a group that has similarities. Thank you so much for having me, and please, let's have dinner.